Welcome to Mock Interview Pro. Today, we're diving into the world of hematology interviews. Whether you're stepping into this field or looking to refine your skills, we're here to guide you through the types of questions you might face and how to approach them with confidence. Let's get started with our first question. Can you share an experience where you successfully collaborated with a multidisciplinary team to diagnose a complex hematological condition? This question is designed to evaluate your teamwork skills and ability to work effectively within a diverse healthcare team. Here are some tips to help you craft a strong response. Clearly define the complex hematological condition you dealt with. Describe your role and the team members you collaborated with. Emphasize the communication strategies you used within the team. Detail the diagnostic approaches and how they led to the final diagnosis. Conclude by sharing the outcome and what you learned from the experience. Let's look at a sample answer to see how this all comes together.
Recently, I handled a case where we diagnosed a patient with atypical thrombocytopenia. I worked alongside a hematopathologist and a geneticist. We conducted regular discussions to ensure we all contributed insights. By integrating lab results and genetic findings, we pinpointed the underlying issue. This experience taught me the immense value of interdisciplinary communication.
By the way, we're only covering a handful of questions in this video, but I've prepared a free PDF with all 30 top interview questions for hematologists. It also includes example answers and tips to help you prepare with confidence. The download link is just below. Can you give an example of a challenging case you've handled in your practice and how you resolved it? This question aims to assess your problem-solving skills and how you manage complicated situations in your medical practice. Here's how you can structure your answer. Select a specific case with clear details. Highlight your role in resolving the issue. Discuss the challenges you encountered and how you overcame them. Mention any collaboration with other healthcare professionals. Finish with the positive outcome for the patient. Now, let's explore a practical example.
I once managed a patient with acute myeloid leukemia who faced complications from chemotherapy. Teaming up with the oncology department, I adjusted her treatment plan and implemented supportive care. By closely monitoring her blood counts and managing her symptoms, we ultimately led her into remission.
Describe a time when you had to deliver difficult news to a patient or their family. How did you approach this situation? This question evaluates your communication skills, particularly in emotionally sensitive situations. To prepare for this question, consider the following advice. Pick a specific incident that highlights your communication skills. Clearly and empathetically explain the context and difficult news. Share how you prepared for the conversation and chose your words. Emphasize the emotional support you provided during and after the discussion. Conclude with the outcome and any positive steps taken afterward. Let's look at an example to illustrate this.
In my first year as a hematologist, I had to tell a family about a patient's terminal diagnosis. I invited them to a private office, used clear language, and gave them time to process the news. I offered resources for emotional support and followed up a week later to check on their well-being.
Imagine a patient comes to you with unexplained fatigue and abnormal blood counts. What steps would you take to determine the underlying cause? This question tests your decision-making skills and your approach to clinical problem solving. Here's how you can outline your response. Start by taking a comprehensive patient history, including symptoms and family history. Conduct a detailed physical examination to look for signs of anemia or other disorders. Order a complete blood count and specific tests like reticulocyte count, iron studies, and vitamin B12 levels. Consider a bone marrow biopsy if initial tests don't provide clarity. Collaborate with specialists as needed and interpret the findings in the clinical context. Let's take a look at how you might answer this question.
I would begin by gathering a detailed patient history to identify any potential clues. Following that, I'd perform a focused physical exam and order a complete blood count alongside tests for iron and vitamin B12 levels. If these results are inconclusive, I'd consider a bone marrow biopsy and consult with colleagues to explore further options.
How would you address a situation where a patient's insurance denies coverage for a necessary hematological treatment? This question assesses your ability to navigate ethical dilemmas and advocate for patient care. Consider these strategies when forming your answer. Review the insurance policy thoroughly to understand the denial reasons. Communicate the situation clearly to the patient. Explore alternative treatments that might be covered. Contact the insurance company to appeal the denial if necessary. Document all communications and keep the patient informed throughout. Here's an example of how you might handle this situation.
Initially, I would review the insurance policy to clarify why the treatment was denied. I'd then explain the situation to the patient and discuss possible alternative treatments. If applicable, I'd appeal the denial with the insurance company, ensuring the patient stays informed at every step.
Before we wrap up, remember you can get all 30 questions, example answers, and step-by-step tips in a handy PDF. Totally free. Just grab it below.